Hello, people of YouTube and Reddit. My name is Dakota Chinnick, and I'm the lead developer on the League of Cards project. I'm making this video really quick because we kind of wanted to show you where we're at with development and show you some of the features that we'll be having in the game so you guys kind of have an idea of what to expect. So far, this is kind of how the game is looking right now. You have your name up here, log out button, a way to get IP, and then the different tabs so that way you can unlock packs, create decks, the shuffler, which I'll explain in a little bit, and trading cards among other players, and of course the most important one is actually playing the game. So this is our game map so far. It's a work in progress. We don't have much animation added to it yet. That's kind of later in the development stage. But these are kind of the areas where you'll be placing cards down on the field. When you're actually playing the game, you're only going to see one half of these. And so you might only see this half if you're player 1, and you'll only see this half if you're player 2. Right now I can see both halves because for development I have it set as me being player 1 and 2. Up here you can see your health bars. We have it separated between blue and red, kind of like in the League of Legends map. And then to make things easy to deal with your hand and not take up a lot of room, we have this little icon down here, and when it's hovered over, your hand appears. Basically you can have up to 7 cards in your hand in the game. You usually won't have less than 3, since if you have 3 or less cards, you'll draw a card when it's destroyed. In our Reddit post, we'll explain a little bit about the strategy behind that. But we have champion cards, we have spells, we have minions, which creatures that champions summon are considered minions as well. We have monsters, which is mainly jungle creeps. And we'll have equipments. We haven't created any equipment cards yet, but they're on the way. And so basically if you want to leave your hand and make this small again, all you have to do is have your cursor leave it. Then you can open it back up just by hovering over that little icon at the bottom, which is pretty neat. With the map, we plan to have some animation and a little mini game created from the animation in the background, so that way you have something to do when your opponent is making their decision and taking forever. Which, by the way, decisions will be timed. You'll be given a reasonable amount of time, but it's not going to be super long because that makes the game really boring when you have to wait like a minute at a time for your opponent to make a decision. Another cool feature is we'll also have a timer up here. And so that way if you decide while you're waiting for your opponent to make a turn to go and open some packs, or create a deck, or use the shuffler, or trade cards with another player, you can see over here how much time you have left before it's your turn, or if the enemy finishes early and it's your turn already. Right now these tabs are all green screened because they're works in progress and we don't want to show that off quite yet. So you can't really see anything here, it's just green, but let's go back to the game. What else do I want to point out? Oh, this is pretty cool. And so cards in your hand and on the field are a little hard to read. And so we have it set so that way this big icon appears right in the middle of the screen. And so that makes the card easy to read, and that's going to be a feature that you can toggle on and off. And so when you know all the cards pretty well and you don't want to see that big huge card on the screen every time you hover over something, we'll have a button over here on the left side that you can just click and toggle that off. And then you don't have to worry about that, but it's very helpful when you don't know the cards and you can't really read them down here because they're kind of placed over one another like a hand. What else do we got? We're going to have some background music, which is another thing you'll be able to toggle off if you're annoyed by it. And I think Zelda fans will definitely appreciate the tune because it's played with a synthetic flute, which kind of makes it have the same sound as Zelda, but it's a different tune, and I'll give you guys a little snippet real quick. So that's a little snippet of the music you'll hear in the background. It's kind of laid back and relaxed, just meant to make the game feel casual. I think that's pretty much all I have to show off in this video. We'll be talking strategy and all that stuff in our Reddit post, which you'll probably use to find this video, so you should be able to find that information pretty easily.